Hey sexy people, my Imperium delivery arrived early. That makes a change. So we are going to have a quick flick through issue 75, but we've got 75, 76, 77 and 78. I've been to a wedding today, so when I got home this was a nice surprise. Let's get into 75. So it's another Heamotrope Reactor. It's our second and last one of those. Let's have a look at the Heamotrope Reactor. Okay, so on the front it's saying Heamotrope Reactor and then Leagues of Votan. The Leagues of Votan were released this year, weren't they? So cool. And it says 2 reactor paint schemes here. Right, let's get into this. Right, Leagues of Votan. So this is in our red section, D, Factions, number 17. Inquisitorial Report, Leagues of Votan. That's going to be interesting to read. Chaos Demons for Nurgle. And War Zones for our red section. This is Daravar. Daravar, home to the traitorous Knights of House Mandrakor, posed a threat to Imperial shipping through the Nakmund Gauntlet. The Castellans of the Rift, Space Marines chapter, ordered by Rabuta Gilliman to defend the Rift, took it upon themselves to seize the world. Okay, so that's cool. Harken World Claimer, Herald of the Apocalypse. Okay, and then we've got another story here for our red section. An obstacle to acquisition. So 4 pages there. Then we've got how to build our Heamotrope Reactor. So I've built the reactor previously. What I'll do this time round is we'll do a quick and easy paint scheme for it, shall we? So that's how it all goes together. How to paint Heamotrope Reactor. Now, scheme, rust and grime. So you're adding in some Astrogranite here, according to this, and then it's got an Abaddon base, Abaddon black base coat, Lead Belcher, Runelord brass, Stormhost silver, Mornfang brown, Balor brown, Cryptok armor shade gloss there, Mornfang brown again, rust effect, and Trollslayer orange. And that's the final gallery. And then we've got Sandy scheme for number 2. So Mornfang brown, 3 coats, Corn red, pipes and panels, Lead Belcher, Abaddon black, Agrax Earthshade, Nolan oil, Balor brown, Administratum grey, Evil Sun Scarlet, Stormhost silver, Corax white, Nolan oil, Corax white, White Scar, Balor brown, Rakar flash, and then Evil Sun Scarlet and White Scar for the final bits. But they both look good. But we'll crack on and just do a fairly easy one, shall we? Right, the battle above. So this is Veteran Mission number 16. The Necrons possess few vessels, but each powerful beyond measure. Thankfully, the Navis Imperialis currently outnumbers and outguns the foe, and the Necrons have largely avoided direct combat. Now, a stunning switch of strategy worthy of Marneus Calgar himself, the Overlord has ordered a lightning strike on an Imperial vessel in orbit. The villainous Necron noble believes the sudden assault will catch Imperial defenders unawares. So the Necrons need to scuttle the vessel. The boarding passes have been issued with simple orders: destroy the Imperial fleet. The Necrons must fight their way to ammunition dumps, warp drives and fuel storage areas and sabotage them in order to cripple or destroy the Imperial vessels. This Thus may the tide of battle be turned in a single precise assault. And then for Imperium, repel the boarders. Those troops still aboard Imperial vessels have been dispatched to secure key locations aboard and ensure the Necrons cannot achieve their objectives. The boarders must be tracked down and destroyed, and vulnerable sectors of the ship secured against further Necron incursions. So we're playing with all 4 of our battle mats on the pale grey side this time round, and it looks like player B will be deploying in a 6-inch wide L-shaped strip, and then player A will have a 15 by 15 inch square in the opposite corner. Necron boarding parties have breached the vessels on several levels. The attackers must be repelled before they can destroy key systems and scuttle the ship in orbit. The mission's rules do not follow precisely those presented in C Veteran 01. Shush. Read the rules on this page thoroughly before playing through the mission. Necron player is player A in this mission. Okay, so there you go. That looks good. And then obviously to look forward to, we've got our Invader ATV in 76 and the Command Barge in 77 and 78, which I'm actually looking forward to. I have ordered, well, my girlfriend's ordered a second one, which will hopefully arrive, and that I will be building the Annihilation Barge. I couldn't remember what it was then for a sec. Out of it. But here you go, this is the plastic. It's a sculpt from 2016, Heamotrope Reactor. I like it. I've done the other one. You can find that video in the Imperium playlist. If I remember, I will link it in the description. But I'm terrible for forgetting. But yeah, it's quite a simple thing to put together. When I put mine together, I left the smokestack separate and the bend, the right angled pipe here separate, and I secured them with magnets basically, so that I can swap things around. But yeah, come back and we'll do a quick painting tutorial for it. So as you can see, I've basically given this a base coat of lead belcher all over, except for the skull. I've missed out as much as possible the cog Mechanicus symbol here, and the reason for that is that this is all going to be painted black and white in the cog Mechanicus symbol. So I'm going to start off with the black for now, and this side of his face. So as you look at him, the left hand side is black of the face, and then the cog is the right hand side of the cog. The other thing I'm going to do is, there are a number of cables, etc. On the other side, and I'm going to start picking out various cables in black, and I'm actually going to just use things like green, yellow, red, blue, black to paint all, or you know, whatever cables I think would look good being painted. So take your time with this. So you can pick out the cabling that you want in the colour that you want. There are some cables in here. Some of these I'm going to pick out in black. So for example, this one here. maybe this thick pipe just here. You know, just go around and pick out what you want. Some of them I will do black and yellow, some of them I might do green and yellow, some of them I might do red and yellow, you know, or red and black, striped. It just depends on what you want to do. So have fun, fill your boots, and do whatever you feel is going to work for you. Okay. Next up, once I've got the black down, I am going to put down the white half of the Cog Mechanicus, but for base coating, I'm actually going to use Ulthuan Grey. So Ulthuan Grey, because I find this gives me a lot better coverage, and it provides an almost white base that helps when you start to come to shading. Now, you can obviously put this on and once it's on, you can either shade it with a bit of Nuln Oil and then highlight up from there, or you can just highlight up without Nuln Oil. Take your pick. But we're going to be doing this half of the skull and the opposite side of the Cog Mechanicus, the big cog part, in this colour. And those are the two bits mostly that I'm going to do white, the two biggest bits anyway. We also have all of these, they're kind of like coils for plasma guns, and the problem is just they're recessed here, so you're going to need to be a little bit careful how you do these, but I'm going to be painting all these white so that I can then give them a blue wash to create a look of plasma energy in the reactor. So just be careful with these, so that you have got minimal touch up to do once it's done. And then on this bit here, I'm going to base, because this will, it's like a furnace door, so I will be doing a plasma type effect in here as well. So that's what we're doing with the white. Okay then, so I'm going to come in with some Rune Lord brass now to do some trim. Basically I'm just going to do the trim around this like so. So what I'm going to do is, again, you know, at the end of the day, this is quite rough and ready because it is a series. So I'm going to do this centerpiece here, but it's got like some flutes on it, I suppose you could call them, some brackets maybe. So I'm going to paint around those, but I'm also just going to paint the face here. I'm going to paint any signs like this one with the brass. I'm also going to come in and paint. You see these little end caps where piping goes into the machine? I'm going to paint those. And yeah, just basically the banding on here. So this bit here, this top bit, this bit here, these bits as they come down, they're all going to get gold, or brass I should say, the Rune Lord brass. So obviously on the other side as well. On this side I'm not really going to touch anything. What I might do though is, coming back to this, some of these ribbed piping, I might just make a couple of those brass, and I might pick out a couple of small bits on the wiring in here, just to give it a little bit of variation. But I'm going to crack on with that and come back in a mo. Hey, right, so I'm going to be using all these colours to do the cabling. Obviously not all the cables are going to get done, some of them are going to remain silver. But you've got your three primary colours here, your blue, red and yellow, and just green. I think that's probably going to cover most of everything that I want to do. And yeah, you don't really want to sit here and watch me, you know, paint in individual colours in on different cables. So that's what I'm going to do. Come back and hopefully you'll see something when it's finished. Ta-da! Right, so let's leave those bits there. So, our bits and pieces. So I've painted the eye lens red as well, and I've done colouring on a number of cables. I've just kept it fairly simple: red, green, black, blue, yellow. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover it all in a black wash, if I can find it. Bugger, can't find it. There it is. Right, so yeah, I'm going to cover it all in a black wash now. But I'm going to go quite sparingly over the skull and Cog Mechanicus symbol, and I'm not going to put any into the recesses here because I'm going to put a thin down blue paint in there. But everything can get a black wash, and basically this is hopefully going to unify everything and just show. I'm going to move this stuff around as well, so it's a fairly even coat all over. So come back and we'll see what's done, see what's cooking. Now that the wash has dried and darkened everything down, I'm going to come in with Necron Compound. This is going to hopefully give me a fairly subtle highlighting where I want it. So what I'm going to do is I want to highlight the edge here, these ribbed parts, and obviously the rest of this. So I'm literally just going to come in and do that, and hopefully you can see it's just depositing the dry paint compound onto the edges here, and then that's working. And again, what I want to do is just on the main parts there, just a little bit. So I'm literally just going to work my way around to highlight each and every one of these bits. And again, on this side, I'm going to use it to just highlight, hopefully in a more realistic way, the sort of like wear and tear on edges, etc., that you will get. And that's literally how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to gently go across here as well, just to highlight those parts, and just but yeah, I'm going to work around this, and you'll see it. I will come back once I've done that. So having come in with the Necron compound to just obviously go over, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of dry brushing on the skull now, and I'm literally just going to use Ulthuan Grey again for that. But the way I'm going to do this is, because this is the upright position, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go in one direction, which is downwards, to hopefully try and simulate potential weathering, you know, like rain, etc., washing down the model, and kind of like a streaky grime finish. And let's do the same this side. So there's two lamps on here. You've got one above the furnace entrance, I suppose, and one here. All I'm going to do is come in. I've got a watered down Avalon Sunset. Yeah, Avalon Sunset. And I'm just literally just going to put that on the lamp like that. And on this, same on this one. Now, I've watered down some Calgar Blue, and when I say watered down, I've really watered it down. And this is going to be used to basically, let's just change the light in slightly, so hopefully you can see. So all I'm going to do is I'm literally going to dab this in, and because it's watered down, it's going to flow into the recessed areas and allow the lighter white to show through. Now, I've done the blue, done the lamps. To be honest, that's as far as I'm going to take it. It is only a scenery piece, so, you know, I'm not massively going to detail this, because let's face it, it's just going to sit in the background as miniatures play around it. But yeah, that's it. I've just painted these eye lenses red, and that's about the only thing really. This nice little mini, I do like it. Mine's magnetised so that I can connect it. So I've got the pipe magnetised, and basically it's so that if people are playing around it, you know, and they knock it, it's not going to constantly fall apart and such. But I go through the magnetisation in the first build video when we got the first one of these. And that's it. There you go. one Heamotrope Reactor painted to get on the tabletop and look interesting. Alright then, I will see you lovely people in the next video. Take care, bye bye.